Well, hello everybody. Welcome to my studio. My name is Nathifa, and I'm the owner of Juicy Christian Studios. I wanted to just welcome you guys to the studio today because typically you just see my hands kind of going and doing all the things on the videos. But I wanted to just pop in today because I wanted to encourage you all to take this time to start purging your studio and resetting your studio for next year. I love to reset my studio for the year. This time in between like Christmas and New Year, that like weird week that we have, whereas like we're just sort of like just doing nothing. We're just either like sleeping, eating lots of food still from Christmas, or just doing shenanigans, right? I have been resting myself. I've been kind of just doing nothing, honestly. And I thought it would be a really good time for me to reset the studio. And so that's what I want to do. And I wanted to encourage you, and I wanted to share how I reset my studio with you all as we prepare for our next making season. Okay. So I have my list here. So I may be looking down a little bit, but I have my list of things that I do, and I wanted to share them with you all. So I'm going to go through these. If you have questions, let me know. All right. So the first thing I want to encourage you to do is to purge. Pretty traditional, pretty basic, but you know, you got to kind of start looking through all of your supplies from the year and decide like, okay, what did I actually use this year? Am I going to be using these things next year? Are these things that I can like sell to people, or you know, donate to a local school or whatever? You want to kind of, you know, think about it as if are you going to use it? I know we can tend to be kind of hoarders sometimes as makers because, okay, I'll speak for myself. I can be a hoarder sometimes when it comes to like my supplies and my tools because I love them and I get inspired by them. But I think it's important to kind of really think about, am I going to be using this stuff this year? Like specific like dies or stamp set that you have not used for years. Are you really going to start using it next year? If you're not going to start using it next year, I would just say purge it out and get rid of it. Okay. Once you're done purging everything, I would say like start like, you know, cleaning stuff, like wiping things down, dusting things. And you may be doing this throughout the course of the year, but this is just a good time to kind of like start setting that intention again of like, okay, I want to start cleaning my studio and making sure there's not a lot of like dust and everything else around, because it's your studio, it's your sacred place, right? So dust and clean your studio, wipe things down. And then you want to like set up and restock your creative station. So I love to create stations for my making. So like if there are certain like supplies that I find myself using a lot more frequently than other ones, I'll put those in like a bin, and I'll just put it like on a table where I can grab it, you know, pretty easily. Or if I'm making for like a specific season, like let's say Valentine's Day, I'll have all of my Valentine's Day stuff out in a bin that I know I'm going to be grabbing like pretty frequently to use. And so I would encourage you to do something like that. If you follow Tim Holtz, he's shown us so many different ways to create stations. And I definitely stole that idea and I used it. I still use it. You know what I mean? And so I would encourage you to do the same, like grab something and just use it. Try to make it work. Right? All right. And then I want you to set up some goals or intentions for your studio. I think that's really important when you're resetting your studio. Like, what do you want to happen in your studio that year or for the next year, right? For me, my big focus this year is really to kind of dive a little bit deeper into encouraging people and sending out magic into the world, right? Like I was talking on Instagram recently about how we as makers, we as creatives, we are sometimes the only people that are holding the magic or keeping the magic alive for other people, like literally, right? And that really came to be because like I remember this Christmas season, I was at home and I was trying to like, I think we're kind of decorating our house for Christmas, and it was like my husband was kind of like not really like in the spirit of Christmas per se, like wanting to go out and put the lights on. Like I was grabbing the things out and trying to set up things or whatever. And he was kind of like dragging his feet a little bit. I was like, what the crap? Like seriously, like, dude, let's go, you know? But then it came to my mind and I was like, wait a minute. And I started thinking, I'm like, you know, I don't think everybody has this like ability or need or want or desire to be merry, right? I don't think it's everybody or wanting to encourage people. And I was like, maybe some of us are just here to keep the magic alive. And I was like, oh my goodness, yeah, we're the magic keepers. We're the ones who really are that makes our spirits like come alive, right? We want to be the ones to kind of sprinkle a little bit of magical fairy dust in the world, where people are inspired by us and people are excited about the things that we give them because we're making things for them. And so I want you to set an intention for your studio. Like, what do you want to happen? I want to send out magic into the world every single day. I want to inspire people to live and be the best versions of themselves, right? And I want my studio to be the place that happens. And so my goals for my studio, my intentions in my studio is for that to happen. And so how can I create a space around me that's going to encourage that, right? Can I put up quotes? Can I put up little scriptures or affirmations or prayers or blessings around my studio that's going to create a space for me to be intentional about putting magic out into the world every single day? Okay. And then if you're somebody who prays, I would say pray over your studio or speak affirmations over your studio, speak life into your studio. Because again, like I was just talking about, like this is a sacred space. And I really and truly believe in honoring our spaces, in honoring our homes, and honoring the places that we work in, because again, we're the ones who have these abilities to send out magic into the world. And so if you're going to be that, like, pray over it, speak life into, like, I speak life over my studio space. I speak that, this space is going to create lots of happy moments for people. Like, speak that over your studio. And I think you'll start to see the return on that 100-fold. And then lastly, get to work. Like, once you're done doing all that stuff and your studio's clean and you've kind of, you set your intentions about things that you're going to do, or you've kind of just done what you need to do, like, seriously, get to work, start working in that space, because you've already set the intentions, you've already said what you were going to do, and now it's just time for you to get to work. So that's what I do to reset my studio for the year. It's not really like overly crazy. The biggest part for me is like really purging and cleaning things out, because I have a lot of stuff and I love art supplies, clearly. And so I have to organize everything that I've gotten from the year. So that's the hardest part for me. But otherwise, I think if you start setting intentions over your studio and what you want to do and what you want to create in this space, I think you're going to really find that throughout the year, you're going to be like, oh, like I'm actually doing the things that I set out to do. So I hope that was really helpful for you all. If you guys have any questions about any of the things that I said, or about, if you have comments or different ways that you set up or reset your studio for the year, please share them in the comments. I would love to hear those ideas and those thoughts. So thanks for joining me. I would love it if you would subscribe. If you haven't yet, follow me. I plan on being very alive on YouTube this year, so hopefully I'll get to talk to you soon. But until then, you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.